Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamala Pita Sarvanya Pita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Surya Vamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva, when you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati for the power of teleportation. Now let's go to the powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita Decoded. Bhagavan narrates, what does Krishna mean by light and darkness? They refer to the levels of consciousness one has reached. If a person leaves the body without knowing what drove him all along, his samskara, his desire, fear, guilt, etc., which we call the root thought pattern, then this ignorance is what he refers as darkness. If you look inside, the reason of your low inner space, powerless inner space, will be soon root thought pattern. Break that, reclaim your freedom, declare your freedom, raise your inner space to the peak joy, fulfillment, and excitement. He says, the reason of your low inner space, powerlessness, inner space, will be some root thought pattern. Break that, reclaim your freedom, declare your freedom, raise your inner space to the peak joy, fulfillment, and excitement. Such a powerful cognition. With that, let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
Arika, Section 3 of Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 3.4 and 3.5. Yatha hi arto sputo drishta savadhane pichetasi bhuyah sputataro bhati swabaloddhyoga bhavitaha tatha yat paramarthena yena yatra yathastitam tattatha balamaakramya nachirat sampravartate.
Spanda Karika, Section 3, Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 3.4 and 3.5. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, indeed, just as an object of or static matter, which in spite of all the attentiveness of the mind is perceived and seen indistinctly at first, and then appears and manifests more distinctly and clearly when observed with the strength of one's visual power. So when the yogi restores to the power of spanda the dynamic activity in its highest essential nature of oneness with the Sadashiva, then whatever thing or object or idea which is static matter exist in its highest dimension in whichever form which one seeks to know or manifest, whether it whichever place or time, in whichever state of dimension, that thing or object at once and not after a long time appears and manifests in that way by the nature of static existence. Bhagavan beautifully says always, he says that static matter, dynamic activity, and strategic existence. Static matter, the Paramashiva space in us. Dynamic activity, the Parashakti manifestation in us. And the strategic existence, the will persistence in us. All three are one and the same. Here he says, Paramashiva, the darkness, we are caught in all the illusion that we are constantly going through, and we feel deep depression and guilt, comparison, jealousy, tiredness, boredom, all kinds of emotion, raising ourselves to the joy and fulfillment, excitement, to the light of Paramashiva. Each one is the self-effulgent light. Each one is omnipresent. Each one of us is Paramashiva, Paramashanta Swarupa. All this Bhagavan says so beautifully. How we exist, the pi of Paramashiva, all the Akshaya Guna of Paramashiva is how we exist. But forgetting that, constantly we ignore that what we have, and we go on asking what we think we don't have it. So beautiful how we exist in oneness with Paramashiva. Like Bhagavan says, we are $1 trillion kids and we go begging in the street, not understanding that we don't have to do. All we need to do is turn back and start asking, please, whatever you have, download in me, and simply each time we do, one time it will simply happen. Bhagavan beautifully says how the manifestation of teleportation happens from the breadth dimension. The materialization happens from the depth dimension. Most often it is the materialization, teleportation of objects. From the space of completion, simply you'll be able to teleport from the joy and fulfillment and excitement, keeping yourself to the highest reality. You will manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. When Markandeya was told that he was going to be only for 16 years, he just went to Shiva and said, here, I want to be with you forever. And he became Siranjeevi, the ever and ever he's with Paramashiva and only Paramashiva. The beautiful space of how they live. Hanuman is another Siranjeevi who lives forever, remembering only Ramanama, thought, word, and action in everything, in every form, just remembering Ramanama and manifesting all the powers of Rama. Here, Bhagavan beautifully gives that in the joy, in the space of fulfillment, in the joy, the space of completion, one can simply manifest all the possibility of Paramashiva, the infinite possibility of Paramashiva. Now, with this powerful cognition, let's go to the Apta Pramana. Atma Pramana is from the official website of Satyasai. Here, sharing of the experience of the bhasma being teleported by the Satyasai devotee, published in the official website. Bhagavan is manifesting all these jewels and vibhuti for the devotees. So beautiful, the Apta Pramana. Let's go to the Atma Pramana, the Leelas of Bhagavan, how he manifested all the powers of Paramashiva and played the Leela for us to experience the higher superconscious breakthrough.
And how the baby is washed with the soap and how the baby has been beaten. I'll finish telling this story, then I'll explain, because the story has many keys, sacred secrets. In the temple, he made me sit and taught how to loosen yourself from the different nerves. It is a simple conscious decision of not getting attached, nothing else. It's a simple technique, conscious decision. I'll explain the technique in a very detailed, elaborate way. And he taught me that. I sat and practiced maybe for half an hour. I must be maybe 12 or 13. That must be the age, or maybe 14 also. But surely when I was living in Thiruvannamalai, I left Thiruvannamalai by 14 and a half, that means for the diploma mechanical engineering, 14 and a half, that is the time I left. Left means I used to stay many days in the Polytechnic. So we both were walking after the Samyama. We were walking to go round the hill. On the way, one government hospital, Thiruvannamalai is government hospital. Those days it was a small, now it has become big. Government hospital. We were walking in that way. Throughout the way he was talking like you try this samyama on somebody and try to prove that you are able to do it. I was thinking what to do. Suddenly when we were crossing the government hospital, I saw a nurse walking fast inside the hospital. You know, in those days nurses will wear that long white dress. Immediately I told this Raghupati Yogi, I will do samyama on her. Very elderly lady, maybe 50 or 55. I just did samyama on her, but I was not able to get into her body completely. I was only able to connect with her eyes. Because the samyama which I practiced morning, I was able to loosen myself only from the eyes. That is the part first gets loosened. Because that is the part through which you relate with the world, more than 80%. So that got loosened in me. I was able to enter into her eyes. But I couldn't control or do anything other than the eyes part. Raghupati Yogi also understood. But he wants to check whether I am able to do it properly. Then after that, we sat there itself in one corner. She was attending a delivery. I described the whole delivery exactly. How the baby is coming out, how she is attending, and what all the equipments are used, and how the baby is washed with the soap, and how the baby has been beaten, how she held the baby. Everything I described in a very detailed way, because I am seeing through her eyes. End of the delivery, after she did everything, the relatives of the mother were waiting outside. The moment she came out, they gave a silver tumbler to her as a gift. I saw that also. I described the whole thing to Raghupati Yogi. Raghupati Yogi was convinced, yes, I am able to do that samyama. She just inserted that tumbler in the hip to hide from the other doctors and officials. Raghupati Yogi wanted to check the power of my samyama. When she came out, he took me, Raghupati Yogi took me inside the hospital and asked me to tell who is the nurse and where she is keeping the tumbler. I said, she is the nurse and she is keeping the tumbler here in the hip. Raghupati Yogi went and asked, did you get the silver tumbler as a bribe? She was shocked. And he said, you are keeping it in your hip. She was completely shaken. She said, how do you know, Swamiji? He said, I saw with my mantra power. And he spent some 2-3 words. He told some 2-3 words. She was shocked and she touched his feet and she went away. Then later on, Raghupati Yogi took me inside that place where the baby is there. I described before that itself to Raghupati Yogi some of the body marks and how the baby looked and all that. Went and saw inside, checked, everything was perfect. As I described, the small cart in which they keep the baby, that swing, everything was clean. Then I asked Raghupati Yogi, why I am not able to do the samyama of the whole body? Why I am not able to enter into her body completely? Then he said very beautifully, first thing, the samyama is just to awaken that intelligence in you. Second, you are a conscious birth. If you enter into her whole body, even if you come back, she will become an incarnation or enlightened. Even if you step back, she will become enlightened. So that cannot happen. This is just to awaken your own powers to you, to remind you that you can do this.
So beautiful, the Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana. Here we have Shakshi Pramana, millions of disciple devotees, followers who are initiated by Bhagwan manifest the power of materialization of teleportation from one cup to another cup. So you can see some dots in the second cup from the first cup where they have the vibhuti. Now let's go to the instruction and pratyaksha pramana to manifest the powers of teleportation.
Pratyaksha Pramana. Scientific studies, what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. The science of teleportation. Science defines teleportation as a process by which an object is dematerialized and essential information about its atomic structure is sent to another point in space, where the object is instantaneously rematerialized or reassembled into its component atoms. Explained using quantum mechanics, teleportation is a mechanism by which information of the exact state of an atom can be transmitted from one location to another. In this process, information is transported from one location to another using an entangled quantum state. Known as quantum teleportation, this process involves a phenomena called entanglement, which is possible only on a microscale. As mentioned earlier, in classical terms, information is called a bit, and in quantum mechanics, it is called qubit. Whereas quantum entanglement allows teleportation to happen instantaneously, recreation of masses larger than an atom would also need a classical information link between the two locations. This link cannot process information faster than the speed of light, and thus there will be a time delay from point A to point B for teleportation to occur. Source is taken from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 10, Science of Miracles, page 202. There is a physical evidence of teleportation of structures ranging from sacred ash to larger objects across continent. Example, from Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Bengaluru Adinam to several international locations outside of India. In physics laboratories, the largest distance of experimental teleportation is 143 kilometers. Larger masses made up of multiple atoms would require more time for reassembly, as they still need to use the classical channel in spite of information having preceded it instantaneously through quantum entanglement. Quantum teleportation is actually a process of replication similar to cloning or biological faxing, where the same information is used to create a duplicate exactly like the original object. The object itself is not teleported, but only information about it is captured and used. The main difference between teleportation, as science knows it, and more conventional forms of sending information from one place to another is that this is a process of instantaneous teleportation. In 1998, for the first time, a team of researchers at California Institute of Technology successfully teleported a photon across a distance of approximately 1 meter. However, in the process, the original object was destroyed. Since then, a number of teleportation experiments have been performed. In 2006, physicists at the Niels Bohr Institute, Denmark, led by Eugene Polzik, teleported photons across half a meter and used them to illuminate a cloud of atoms. This was considered a milestone because it involved teleportation between light and matter. In 2013, the research group succeeded in teleporting information between two clouds of gas atoms and to carry out the teleportation. Not just one or few times, but successfully every single time. The results were published in scientific journal, Nature Physics. In stark contrast to these efforts, the teleportation of whole objects and even people is a well-defined practice in the mystical tradition. Unlike in the scientific context, it is not just the vital information about the object, but the object itself which is teleported. Power of teleportation, teleporting bhasma from a cup, point A, to a point B with a face-to-face partner. Setting up. For the setting up process, you will need number 1, camera with timestamp. Number 2, Yananjana. Number 3, bhasma powder or turmeric, kumkum, etc. And number 4, 2 transparent or colored empty cups. Take a few moments to set up your camera. Number 1, download the timestamp app. Number 2, click on video. Number 3, ensure that time is shown on screen. Number 4, make sure the camera is facing you. Please take a few minutes to set it up. Guidelines. Before we start the power manifestation process, let us go over the setup to get ourselves ready. Number 1, each partner find a seat facing each other. Number 2, partner 1 to place 1 tablespoon bhasma or sacred powder in 1 transparent glass or cup. You will be focused on teleporting bhasma or sacred powder from your cup across to the empty transparent cup without physical involvement or intervention. Step number 3, partner 2 to place your clean transparent cup in front of you. Number 4, wet wipe all the area and object around both cups and verify that no bhasma is present on the body or either participant. Number 5, camera setup must be on the cups at all times. Number 6, turn on video camera with timestamp. Number 7, video verify the transparent cup is truly empty. And number 8, have your cup in front of the camera at all times. Manifestation from the space and blessings of Paramashiva. Number 1, partner 1, hold the awareness of teleporting the sacred powder into the empty clear cup across to partner 2. Step number 2, partner 2 to connect to receiving the sacred powder. Number 3, throughout the manifestation, connect to Paramashiva and lightly focus your gaze through your brow center towards your respective clear cups. Number 4, sit for 21 minutes in a space of complete unclutching, zero thought during the Mahavakya chanting. Number 5, when the chanting subsides, take a close look at both clear cups and summarize the results. Manifestation outcome range. This could be experienced as 1, particles of sacred powder outside or near receiving in clear cup. Number 2, particles inside the empty clear cup. Number 3, clear cup 1 completely empty and clear cup 2 completely filled with sacred powder. Number 6, stop the camera. Number 7, celebrate with gratitude. Now that we know what and how to do, let's get ready to experience the power of teleportation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and or egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hen sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen. Same way, you may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
the most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving. For all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password. And it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, Let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process. Please verify the following. Number 1. Verify that the time and date stamp appear on your video. Number 2. Verify that your video has a wide-angle horizontal view and that the camera is focused on both cups and participants at all times. Number 3. No editing of the video. Number 4. The camera remains stationary during the manifestation. Number 5. Video recording is continuous without stopping and restarting during the manifestation process. Number 6. Teleportation of the gift of bhasma, sacred ash, has happened physically in front of each respective participants to and from cup 1 to cup 2 without intervention of any kind, and that the manifestation are all captured on video. Thank you so much for your participation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar manifesting power groups. Thousands of people are part of that, and you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity, Bhagavan says. The quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Parameshivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham